Yo, what's up guys, it's 9 here, and today we are here with a NHL playoff simulation. Now that we have the final game of the season played, the playoffs deciding Wednesday, we're going to be doing an NHL 18 simulation of the playoffs. As you can see, I have the full bracket right here, the entire shebang. Obviously, I had to move Tampa Bay up here and Washington down here because, I needed Tampa Bay to be in the spot that Washington was in, since that would mean they would have home advantage throughout. So, obviously, after we're done with the entire sim, I'm going to be putting the entire results into a NHL playoff bracket thing, and I'm going to be telling you guys my first round predictions right here. So, we got Nashville and Colorado. So, this is an interesting series. I have it as a hot take right now. I am saying this is my bold prediction of the playoffs. Colorado wins the series in 6 games. They're a motivated team. They're a young team. I feel like their captain, Landeskog, has what it takes. I feel Nashville has Roman Josi, not a really big leader. I feel like Colorado can win this in 6 games. This next series seems like a no-brainer to everyone. It's a no-brainer to me. I see Winnipeg taking this series in 5 games. Minnesota winning 1 game at home. Probably game 4 being down 3-0. Because Winnipeg is just too good right now. I should not have just said that, but I did. Patrick Laine, Mark Scheifele, obviously Connor Hellebuyck's playing really good in the net. If Connor Hellebuyck can continue playing like he's played it sometimes in the regular season, they get this in 5, maybe even 4. This next series, very, very topsy-turvy. You have no idea what's going to happen here. Vegas and Los Angeles. I think that Vegas has a determination, and they have some guys with good playoff experience on their team. I'm saying that Vegas takes this series in 6 games, and they win the series in LA, actually. Anaheim and San Jose. Also, one thing to mention about Vegas in series, I like how Vegas has incorporated a system to only have fans of the team come to the games, not have, LA fans coming, because that could have been bad. It would have been, an entire home game series for the LA Kings. Now we got Anaheim and San Jose. This series, a lot of people say it's going to be even. I say it's going to be a blowout sweep for the Anaheim Ducks. I feel like the San Jose Sharks have lost some leadership in Patrick Marleau. I think that Anaheim can take this series easily in 4 games. So now let's move on to the Eastern playoff bracket. We got Tampa Bay and New Jersey. I'm saying this isn't just a bump in the road, pretty easy for Tampa. They're going to take this one in 6 games, 4-2. I think New Jersey has a good team with Taylor Hall. They might take 2 games, but I feel like Tampa Bay is going to take this in 6. Next series, Toronto wants revenge for 2013. This is an ultimate playoff series, probably the second best of these playoffs. I'll tell you what the first best is, but Boston and Toronto, I think it's going to go to 7 games. I think it's going to go to 6 games, and Toronto takes it at home. And Toronto, just being at the ACC, it's going to be too much for the Boston Bruins to handle, and Toronto can steal a game in Boston. So the next series, this one's pretty easy to predict. I say that this could even be a sweep, but knowing the Capitals, I'd say they're going to take this series in 6 games over the Columbus Blue Jackets. But it all matters about what's going to happen in that second round, because that is the real test for the Washington Capitals. This next series, a lot of people are saying the Penguins are going to win, but I'm a Penguins fan myself, and I know that the Flyers come to play every single time they play us. And obviously the last playoff series we played against them, they beat us in 6 games, and we were expected to win that series, but we lost. So, entirely possible that the Flyers win this series, but I do think that we will take this series ultimately in 7 games, probably the best series of the first round. So, for the second round, we got Colorado and Winnipeg. Now, Colorado, I'd say their Cinderella run ends there. They lose to the Winnipeg Jets in 6 games. Winnipeg moves on to the conference final. Now, we got Vegas and Anaheim. This one should be pretty good, but I think that the Vegas Golden Knights will take down the Anaheim Ducks and make it to the conference finals. They will continue their amazing expansion team run, and we will have Winnipeg and Vegas in the conference finals. So Tampa Bay and Toronto. Very interesting series. Toronto Maple Leafs and Tampa Bay Lightning. I just think that Toronto doesn't have the leadership yet to go far in the playoffs this year. I think they'll go far next year, though, if they make it there. Hopefully they do. But I think Tampa Bay takes this series in 7 games in Tampa. So that will be. And now we got Washington and Pittsburgh again. And honestly, I really just can't pick Washington here. It's just impossible. I have a good friend, Man of the Rit, who's a Washington fan, and he even knows that he just can't say that Washington will win. So I say Pittsburgh takes this series, maybe even in 5 games. Light up Washington, but if it's going to be either 5 or 7, or maybe even 6 at Pittsburgh, and then we'll have Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay in the conference finals. So for the conference final games, we got Pittsburgh and Tampa. I'm saying that the Tampa Bay Lightning will get revenge on Pittsburgh for beating them in 2016, and Tampa Bay will be going to another Stanley Cup final, hoping to get their first Stanley Cup final win since a Stanley Cup final series win since 2004 in their second Stanley Cup. And then we got Vegas and Winnipeg. I say that the Winnipeg whiteout crowd is gonna take over Vegas. They're just gonna nail it, and Winnipeg wins this series in 7 games in a thrilling series, and we will have Winnipeg and Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup final. And I say the Winnipeg Jets are gonna lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are gonna win in 6 games to win the Stanley Cup. So there you go, guys. There are my predictions. Let me know what you guys think about that, and think where I'm wrong and where I'm right, and I'd like to see your guys' opinions. But let's go ahead and start off the playoff simulation. We're only gonna slow sim. Basically, we're only gonna slow sim elimination games. So when a team has has 3 wins, because I feel like that's the only thing we should really do. So there we go. First game, Colorado and Nashville. I accidentally slow simmed it, so I'm an absolute idiot. 2-0 though. Colorado 2-1 and 3-1. So Colorado takes game 1. Landeskog, the captain, had 2 goals, but we're not gonna do that again. LAK takes the first game. Los Angeles, Tampa Bay takes the first game. Columbus takes the first game. Minnesota takes the first game. I accidentally clicked play because my controller doesn't respond. There's some stats there. Obviously, I'm using the latest March 22nd rosters. Anaheim takes the first game. Boston takes the first game. And Pittsburgh takes the first game. Next game, Nashville ties up the series. LA takes a 2-0 lead. Tampa Bay takes a 2-0 lead. Columbus takes a 2-0 lead in Washington. Minnesota takes a 2-0 lead. Anaheim takes a 2-0 lead. Boston series tied with Toronto. And Pittsburgh takes a 2-0 lead. So we got Nashville and Colorado. Nashville takes a 2-1 series lead. Vegas cuts the lead in half. Tampa Bay takes a 3-0 stranglehold. Columbus takes a 3-0 lead over Washington. If that were to happen in real life, that'd be insane. Minnesota takes another 3-0 lead. Anaheim takes a 3-0 lead. Toronto takes a 2-1 lead. And Pittsburgh takes a 3-0 lead. So we got Nashville and Colorado series tied. LA and Vegas series tied. We got an elimination game right here, so we got to slow sim that. First period, 1-0 Tampa. Tyler Johnson second. Oh, 3-0. That's all over. 4-0. So Tampa Bay sweeps the New Jersey Devils. So they just roll right through them. And we got another game. We got game 4. Columbus could take down Washington 4-0. I think that would lead to firing of somebody at least, or maybe even trading of Ovechkin. First period, 1-0 though. Speaking of the Devil, Alexander Ovechkin scores. Second period, 2-0. Jakob Vrana third. The Washington Capitals stay alive. I apologize if my voice seems a little bit stuffy. It's because it is stuffy. I have a clogged nose. So here we go. Another one of the same kind of big upset here if this happens. First period. Oh, Winnipeg's got a 2-0 lead. Scheifele and Wheeler second. Still 2-0 third. And it is 4-0. Wheeler gets his second of the game. And so far, 2 teams have lost a game when they were up 3-0. Let's see if this happens again. Or will the Anaheim Ducks do what I said and get a sweep? Hurdle scores 11 seconds in, though. First period, 1-0 still. Second period, still that 1 goal, 11 seconds in. Third period, oh boy. The Anaheim Ducks score 3 goals. Pavelski scores 1 and makes it close, but not enough. And the Anaheim Ducks get my prediction right, I guess. And they get a 4-0 series sweep. We'll sim to the next game there. 2-2 series tie between Toronto and Boston. And here's game 4 between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia in Philadelphia Wells Fargo Center. First period, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Jake Gensel and Carl Hagelin. Travis Konechny scores the first goal of the game. Second period, 3-1 Patrick Hornqvist. Third period, oh man, 6-1. The 3 beasts, Malkin, Crosby, and Kessel score. And the Penguins thrashed the Flyers 6-1 and embarrassed them. And that's the third sweep of our simulation. Sim next game, Colorado's got a lead over Nashville. This one, LA's got a 3-2 lead over Vegas. Forgot to sim that. But Columbus loses 2 in a row. First period, 1-0 Winnipeg. Brandon Tanev second, 4-1 Winnipeg, and third. So the Winnipeg Jets are crawling back in. It is now 3-2. And sim the next game for this one, since it's 3-2 Toronto there. So Colorado at home. Let's see if they can fulfill my prediction at least in this game. First period, 2-1 Nashville. Second period, 3-2 Nashville. Third period, and Nashville sends it to a game 7. So this is an interesting series there. The President's Trophy winners are on the brink of elimination, but so are Colorado. First period, 1-0 LA. Second period, it's 2-2. Neal and Tuck score. Canadian Duke. Third period, 3-2. So Vegas ties up the series and sends it to a game 7. And now we got Columbus and Washington. Can Columbus finally close it out in 6? First period, 1-1. Boone Jenner and Matt Niskanen. Second period, still 1-1. Third period, Washington has crawled back in and sent it to a game 7. Alright, and now we'll see if Winnipeg can do the same thing. First period, 4 unanswered goals after Parise opens up the scoring, and Winnipeg is just pouring it down. Second, 5-1. Third, oh my god! Minnesota sends it to overtime with possibly the greatest comeback in playoff history. 4 goals in the third period. Overtime. But Winnipeg wins. Kyle Connor. 4 goals in the third period to tie up the game for the Minnesota Wild, but Winnipeg still wins and sends it to a game 7. Wow. First period, 1-0 Toronto. They had the 3-2 series lead. Kasperi Kapanen. Second period, 2-0 Tyler Bozak. Third period, 4-0. Kapanen gets his second in the game, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are moving on for a date with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And now we got 4 game 7s. Colorado and Nashville in Nashville. First period, 1-1 Soderberg and Hartman. Second period, 2-1 JT Compher. Third period, and Nashville scores 3 goals. And they beat the Colorado Avalanche in a thriller of a series. And Nashville takes the series 4-3 and wins the game 4-3. So we got another game 7 right here. First period, 1-0 Vegas, Shea Theodore. Second period, it's 3-1 Lewis, Iafallo, and Pearson. Third, 4-2. Phaneuf scores the dagger, and the LA Kings beat the Vegas Golden Knights in 7 games. And now we got Columbus and Washington. Columbus had a 3-0 series lead, and now it's tied in Washington for game 7. First period, 2-1 Columbus, Jenner and Dubois. Second period, 3-3 Ocean, Backstrom, and Panarin ties up the game. Third period, we're going to overtime, and Columbus, they lost the lead of the 3-0 series. But Washington sent it to a game 7, and Columbus takes down the Capitals in full Capital fashion. And the Columbus Blue Jackets upset the Capitals to play the Pittsburgh Penguins in a rematch of last year's first round. Now we got another game 7. Minnesota had the 3-0 series lead, but Winnipeg tied it up. First period, 1-0 Zach Parise. Second period, it's 3-1 Stastny, but Parise gets his second of the game. Third period, 4-1 Parise gets the hat trick. He has 5 goals in the final 2 games of the series, 6 points, and Zach Parise saves it for the Minnesota Wild. They beat the Winnipeg Jets. So we got Minnesota and Nashville. LA versus Anaheim. That should be a good series. Toronto versus Tampa, and Columbus versus Pittsburgh. Sim the next game. Nashville 1-0. We got Anaheim 1-0. Toronto 1-0. And Pittsburgh 1-0. Nashville 1-1 series tie. Anaheim 2-0 series lead. Tampa Bay 1-1. And Pittsburgh 1-1 series tie. Nashville, Minnesota. Nashville's 2-1 lead. Anaheim 2-1 lead cut in half. Tampa Bay 2-1 lead. Pittsburgh down 2-1 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Nashville up 3-1. Anaheim up 3-1. Tampa Bay series tied with Toronto, and Pittsburgh and Columbus. 3-1 for Columbus. So we got a couple of 3 elimination games. First period, 1-0 Minnesota, Eric Stahl. Second period, 2-0 Matt Dumba. Third period, 3-0 Zach Parise. Continues his clutch streak, and Zach Parise makes it a 3-2 series lead. LA and Anaheim, 3-1 series lead for Anaheim. First period, 1-1 Cogliano and Thompson. Second period, 3-2 LA. Third period, 5-2 LA, and LA keeps themselves alive and forces a game 6. This one, sim the next game, Toronto's got a 3-2 series lead, and Pittsburgh is on their last gas, down 3-1 to Columbus. First period, 1-0 Alexander Wenberg. Second period, 2-1 Panarin but Hagelin scores. Third period, it is a 3-3 tie. The Penguins score 2 unanswered goals and tie up the game, but now we're in overtime, and Pittsburgh wins. Evgeny Malkin, and the Penguins live to fight another day. A 3-goal comeback after being down 3-1. Alright, now we got another 3-2 series lead for the Nashville Predators. First period, 1-0 Charlie Coyle. Second period, 2-1 Stahl and Ellis. Third period, 2-1 in Minnesota forces a game 7. And now it's Anaheim and LA. LA needs to do the same thing. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-1 Anaheim. Third period, and Anaheim moves on to the conference finals yet again, and they could be playing the same team they played last year. Toronto has a chance to move on to the conference finals. First period, 2-1 Toronto. Matthews and Brown score. Stamkos scores for Tampa. Second period, still 2-1. Third period, 3-2 Van Riemsdyk scores a game-winning goal, and Toronto goes to the conference finals with a date with either the Columbus Blue Jackets or the Pittsburgh Penguins. So who will they play? First period, 2-0 Columbus, Nudavara and Bjorkstrand. Second period, 3-2 though. Schultz and Hornqvist score, Wenberg scores. Third period, but Columbus takes down the Penguins and get revenge, and they will play the Toronto Maple Leafs. And now we got Nashville and Minnesota. First period, 3-2 Nashville. Looked like it was a lot worse, but Bonino gets 2 goals. Cullen and Stahl score, so that's 3 goals in there scored by former Penguins. Yannick Weber and Stahl score. Second period, 4-3. It's close. Bonino gets a hat trick. Third period, 4-4. Marcus Foligno. Next goal sends their team to the conference finals. We're double overtime, and Nashville Bonino gets his 4th goal of the game, and Nick Bonino saves the Nashville Predators, and they will be moving on to play the Anaheim Ducks in the conference finals yet again. Unbelievable. Okay, I did not mean to simulate that game. First period, 0-0. Second period, 1-0. Third period, 2-0. Ryan Getzlaf and Anaheim takes game 1. Sim the next game, Toronto and Columbus. Toronto takes the 1-0 series lead. Nashville series tied. Toronto, 2-0 series lead. Anaheim takes the lead. Toronto, 3-0 series lead. Anaheim, 3-1 series lead. Alright, so now here's the first elimination game. Will Toronto sweep Columbus? First period, 0-0. Second period, 0-0. Third period, 2-0. Columbus lives to fight another day. They win a game for their home crowd, and they stay alive. And now we got Anaheim and Nashville. Will Anaheim exercise their demons and go to the Stanley Cup final? Fiala scores 14 seconds in. First period, 2-0. Ryan Hartman adds on. Second period, 5-1 Nashville. Third period, 7-2 Nashville. An absolute thwomping of the Anaheim Ducks. Fiala, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. The Nashville Predators live to fight another day. And then we got Toronto and Columbus. First period, 1-0 Toronto. Second period, 2-0 Toronto. Third period, 2-2 Columbus. Ties up the game overtime, and Connor Brown scores 31 seconds in. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to the Stanley Cup final. And now we got Anaheim and Nashville. Who will they play? First period, 1-0 Nashville. Second period, 1-1 Anaheim. Third period, overtime, and Anaheim. Corey Perry, the game-winning goal, and Anaheim will play the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, sim the next game. We got it. 1-0 Anaheim. Sim the next game. We got it. 1-1 series tie. Sim the next game. 2-1 Anaheim. Next game. 2-2 series tie. Next game, we got it. 3-2 Anaheim lead. So they have a chance to win the Stanley Cup in Toronto first period. 1-0 Toronto. Marlowe scores. Second period. No goals. Third period. 2-0 Tyler Bozak. And the series is going to a Game 7 against the Ducks. Who will win? First period. 1-0 Zach Hyman. Second period. No goals. Third period. 1-1 Andre Casa. We're going to slow sim this overtime period. Who will score the golden goal in Game 7 to win the Stanley Cup? We got a power play for the Ducks with 12 minutes left. We are halfway through and they score! Ron Hainsey scores the game-winning goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they win their first Stanley Cup since 1967. This is how you know it's a video game. The Toronto Maple Leafs have won the Stanley Cup. Ron Hainsey is the hero. Unbelievable. And there you go. Playoff mode is now complete. We're going to check the stats leaders, but Toronto wins the Stanley Cup. Oh my god. Brian Getzlaf, 31 points in 23 games. He's probably the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, just by those stats. That's insane. Goalies, though, who was pretty good. Obviously, Anderson was 9 point. Oh, that's got to be your Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Frederik Andersen. Absolute beauty. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, for seeing my predictions, and seeing who the NHL 18 game will think will win. And it looks like it's the Toronto